Rolling.
Just give me a nod when I start.
Damn it, Travis.
Negroes.
Quiet on the set.
Quiet on the set, please. Okay. Dre.
Yes.
Where do you work and what is your job?
That's a good question. I'm a parent. I'm a student. I work at the Omni. That's pretty much, and I'm a massage therapist. Actually, I have a clinic here tomorrow.
Okay. So you actually work at the Army as a volunteer?
Volunteer.
That's wonderful, bro. What was your best or worst job and why?
Maybe, should I start with the best or the worst, or it doesn't matter? The best job I have now is working at the Omni. Even though it doesn't pay me directly, it pays an idea that I believed in since Occupy Oakland. And that was that we could fund ourselves as artists and as activists and have a platform to live and to have a decent income, to be able to feed our families or what have you. It's not a dream deferred, but it's a dream that takes longer to achieve because it takes volunteerism. So it's been something I believed in for a long time. And that's why, I guess it's part of a community healing effort I'm trying to do too. And that's why I decided to really take the leap as an artist and as a healer to broaden that idea into what this place is.
What about the worst?
The worst job I had, probably real estate. My dad was in the real estate business. He was a mortgage broker. And I got a sales license, and my dad used to double dip, which means he not only sold homes, he also did loans for people selling homes. And he believed so much in the system that he had me believing in the system to a certain extent that it would be foolproof, because the history of real estate says that, what they teach you in the state of California in real estate is that that real estate moves the economy. And since California real estate is some of the highest in the country, my dad believed in that idea, and he believed it so much that people of color could get a leg up by owning a home, and by owning their first home and renting out another home, that they could live this American dream. And I was part of just my dad having this idea of he wanted to pass this legacy on to his family, and that's what he knew, was economics. And he really wanted us to, both his sons, myself and my younger brother, he wanted us both to be in the real estate business. He created a couple businesses for us to be in. It turned out to be a learning experience for me, because of being a creative person and coming into that field was a stretch, for one, and for two, I had a young family then. I was married. This is when I was married. And I sold the house, my mother-in-law at the time, actually, my mother-in-law was trying to sell a home in East Bay, and I helped her sell that home. And my dad and I had an ethical disagreement. I learned about the business of real estate, and I learned how shady it was. And this was like the 2008 era. We were going to conventions where they were teaching us how to sell different companies countrywide, which no longer exists anymore. I'm in trouble in the 2008 thing. They were teaching us how to sell those mortgages, where you could state your income without showing any documents. Yeah, stated. They called it stated income. So we would make up lines of credit for people, even if it was a cell phone bill.
Oh, man.
And we would write these up. My dad knew that me as an artist have certain skills. So, of course, there was a lot of shady stuff. So that was the worst job, and I didn't know it was the worst job. I thought it was some of the best job. It was an opportunity for my family to do their thing, but I didn't. And so when I sold there was a lot of shady stuff going on. When I sold my mother-in-law's home, outside of escrow, after the whole deal was closed, this is my first deal, only deal that I really ever did. My dad had an investor friend that he asked us to take cash from what she made and give it back to his investor friend. which was outside of escrow, which is totally like not a good. And I went to another real estate agent who was a friend of mine at the time, and she was a healer actually, and that's how I met her. And I didn't know she was in real estate, but we were talking about Reiki and healing and all this kind of stuff. And I was asking her about real estate and this deal I was in with my dad, and she said that's a bad ethical thing. You can't do anything out of escrow like that. You can't make a seller give you cash after you just gave them money in escrow. It's like, you know. And so we had this battle, and it didn't turn out very well. And that was like, my dad is dead today, and I'm in this process of forgiving all that and then part of that is me being part of this system, which is about us sharing and knowing that we can care for each other, not take advantage of each other, being oppressed people. We don't have to feel desperate if we really are honest and can deal with each other on a real level. So, yeah.
Wow. Is there a personal story you can share about your experiences or challenges as a black worker? Well, that was really,
That's it.
that was specific.
That's
What
it.
are some of the ways that you provide for yourself and your family right now?
Well, I'm a full-time student. I've been running this clinic once a month for a year. Prior to this, I did a lot of odd jobs.
Tell us about the clinic a minute. What kind of clinic is this?
Healing clinic, West Oakland Community Holistic Health. We do a clinic once a month. We've been doing it at American Steel in West
Are you
Oakland.
connected with the Berkeley people?
Not Berkeley Free Clinic. This is West Oakland Community Clinic.
Okay.
This came out of some folks that were going to do a clinic here at the Omni, called the Backspace at one time, and we kind of decided it wasn't the time because of we didn't own the building yet, for one, and all the insurance costs that it would cost to have a clinic here. So we decided to do it somewhere else. So we've been having it for about a year. And we do a free donation-based clinic, which we have massage therapists, acupuncturists, yoga professionals. We've had birth workers there. We do meals and like a free store once a month. And so we're doing it here tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Who are the other black people on your job that you associate with? That's
You
here.
guys.
Okay.
I think that's interesting because I just had a conversation about people that someone who wants to rent this space, and I have always felt this has been a mostly white space. Let's just say it. Omni has been legendary for the last however long.
What about our collective?
And I wanted to say this conversation I had with this person was that I've been here and been part of this space in order to make sure the people of color felt welcome in this space, one, and to grow it and to be a force of community space regardless of color or race or any kind of affiliation. But I've been here particularly for that because I'm black and that's all I know, and my children are children of color, so I would like them to be able to come into this space and use all these platforms that we have, all this media, the film collective, the t-shirt collective upstairs, the music collective I'm trying to get going, the arts, and to be able to have a drop-in program, to be able to come in and live that. There are people of color in this neighborhood that I've been outside and they've walked by and asked me, what is that place? And so because they've said that to me, it's kind of made me stay here and be a part of this because I've always wanted to hold space, and I've been trying to do this. Well, it's an overt recruitment of black folks into this space. I'm just going to say it, because I feel like it's important.
You trying to make more Negroes come up in here?
Well, yes. Yes. Because we are creative people, and I think we're key. And being a part of the, Occupy Oakland, I saw a lot of people of color felt taken advantage of in Oakland because of they've been in activism like years and years and years. And then for Occupy Oakland to be this big national thing, and I think Oakland had a very key placement in that, but it is also the other struggles that have been going on, many years ago that made this place legendary for that, and I think a lot of folks a lot of people of color felt rejected by Oakland Occupy. That was a white thing.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question because you was there and I was there.
I was there.
Okay.
Yes.
Are you aware that there was a larger percentage of black people that participated in Occupy Oakland than any other Occupy movement in America. Did you know that?
I didn't know that, but I see why it was, and
at one point,
I can tell
at
why
one
it
point,
was.
we're talking 40% at one point.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
come on
it was
now.
significant.
Come
but
on now.
It's significant, but on the street, a lot of folks that I know, people of color that I know, have said, hey, from the outside, not being activists, just regular working class black folks, a lot of them have said, oh, what's going on with all these people, all these anarchists tearing up our city?
Yeah.
That was the bigger reaction. That was a big reaction, I would just say significant reaction.
Hold on. Now
that may have been a divider
wait a minute.
amongst folks.
That is a different problem. And I would argue that that's probably true.
Yes.
But I'm talking about Occupy Oakland because I was shocked when they came to attack Occupy Oakland. Our hardcore supporters stayed. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was very critical of some of the street bloods. I said, oh, them ain't
Right.
gonna stick around. They gonna them people.
Some
when I
stayed-
came
they
them,
stuck
they
around.
were there
Right.
fighting the cops when they was coming to tear our things up and throw our things in them dumpsters.
Mm-hmm.
And I was shocked that, you know, I didn't understand that the Occupy movement actually changed people and that people did become more concerned about their community and each other and become a little more politicized. 40%.
I didn't know the numbers.
That's you know,
that's significant.
And there's a difference
There's
between
probably a lot more than that.
there's a
Think about
difference
the
between
street
that
stuff.
tearing stuff up and what remember what was Occupy Oakland? What put it on the map? It was that November 2nd mobilization. Were you there that day?
Yeah, I was there. I don't remember it all because to me every day was significant because I lived outside with these folks and I was there every day. And at one point when we were on 14th and Broadway, and this is another reason I say this, a lot of people of color that were on 14th and Broadway in that camp that were locals that decided, hey, we're going to keep all the hood rats out of here so it would be a safe place for people and so that they could get whatever they need to get done. A lot of those people of color felt rejected by the larger organization that was Occupy Oakland that met in the plaza on a regular basis because some of those people came and made decisions within the meetings where they decided, well, okay, this is what we're going to do about security without asking folks of color that were already out there doing security in a way. They were already keeping the hood kind of safe, you know what I'm saying, for the people to be there. And that's how Snow Park got started, because me and another friend were walking. Joe goes to his cousin's house to take a shower, and he's talking from 14th and Broadway. He said, you know what? I'm tired of being told that I'm not security because I'm from Oakland. My mama was a Black Panther. I know all about this stuff. And we need to just expand this thing. Let's go to Snow Park. And we went to Snow Park and expanded it. And so I think some of those stories didn't get told. You know what I mean? And I know a number of people who are people of color that were played significant roles in Occupy Oakland and still have that spirit within them to do the same sort of work, but have felt a certain displacement because we're so busy trying to deal with the larger political struggle that we're missing some small people.
No,
Or
a lot of
we're
times.
missing some locals.
A lot of times, but you know
know.
what? Now look, let's give Occupy Oakland some credit.
Oh yeah, it got me here, no doubt.
And I noticed, like my brother Ali Adin, we call him.
Alibaba.
Right.
Yeah.
Now we worked out a thing with the people that was hanging out in the park, because he was the one that said, "Look, they was here before we was."
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
And actually, we developed a fairly decent relationship with those brothers and sisters. Mm-hmm. And as I got to actually know them, I was shocked at how political their pasts were. Not their demoralized present.
Right, I got you.
But the past, many of them had been, active in the past, Paris in the past, and stuff like that.
Right.
Let us
Let's
continue.
keep going. Yeah, I don't want to take you down.
How are you treated differently as a black person looking for work or working when you have to just get the MONEY?
You know, probably since I decided to be an activist, I decided also to not compromise. And I feel like in life you're gonna struggle anyway. I've struggled with money. I mean, one time I was a teacher for a private school and I got paid $50,000. I ended up getting laid off, but I wasn't happy getting paid $50,000 in the circumstance I was in a stressful circumstance. So it's really not about the money; it's more about peace of mind, and I'm learning not to compromise that. That I have to go for it. And so, as a black person in my field, being a massage therapist, it's weird because it's double-edged. It's like it's easy for me to get clients, but I don't want every client. You know, I've been through personal trauma with police and all kind of stuff, so I don't. You know, it's been I'm in a healing process, so it's taking me. I select people who are important to me to heal because there are significant roles in the community. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What is the best part of being a black worker? In your
Best part about it being it is it's new. It's new in the concept that people, the clientele that I get. I mean, like I'm an independent worker, so since I decided to make that leap, I've had to. The best part is that it's new. You know, people don't expect a young black man. I mean, I look younger than I am, but people don't expect a young black man to be doing healing work, massage therapy. It's kind of rare that people do this, and I've always end up attracted to these healing arts where I'm actually in an environment that's very diverse, I guess you would say, and I'm mostly in women's environments. I used to do after school work with children and stuff, so I'm always in these healing environments where I'm really accepted, but I'm surprised how I'm accepted, and it's kind of, for me, I have to get over the fact that, oh wow, I'm being accepted into a healing world, and they really see that in me, you know what I mean? And it's hard and I have to remind myself to see it in myself.
Okay, Dre, thanks a million, man. And check this out. Do you know the Black Workers Organizing Center? We're going to use this information to show people as part of our Living History Project, Working While Black.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I think we should clear the table off and move the interview right here to where